Hey folks, it's Matt once again, and welcome back to another video. And this time, a little quick DVD/Blu-ray update. Last movies I'll be getting for a while. I have one more thing I want to show, but I'm waiting for it to get here. And it's the last thing I'm getting for a while. Um, I think I showed some of these the last time I did a DVD Blu-ray update. So it'll be a repeat, but hey, if people didn't see that video, then they'll know by this video. For example, I think these I had already shown, so I'll go through them real quick. Ant-Man on DVD. Enjoyed the film. Thought it was a lot of fun. Thought it was entertaining. Thought Paul Rudd and Michael Douglas were really good in this. The Black Hole Disney film with Robert Forster, Anthony Perkins. Interesting little sci-fi film from back in the day. And Guardians of the Galaxy, a film I really enjoyed. Thought it was a lot of fun. But I think these I had not shown. This was actually sent to me. I'm not precisely sure who had sent this to me. I believe it was on my Amazon wish list, and if you go on my wish list, you can. This was sent as a gift. I could be wrong on that. I know at one point this was on my Amazon wish list, but Mad Max. So whoever has sent this to me, I want to give a big thank you for that. This is the original cover, and then the Scream Factory release, which I'm really glad to have this. I was curious about this because it had the interviews, pretty much has all the features from the other DVD, but this has the new interviews with Joanne Samuel, who's the female lead, the DP, and Mel Gibson. So Mel Gibson actually gets to talk a little bit about Mad Max. Nothing fantastic, nothing. I think the whole thing's about 20-some minutes long at most, and that's I missed the 3 of them in film footage. But it was still nice to see, A, to get as a gift, B, I like this cover. I think this is a pretty cool cover. And C, it was nice to hear Mel Gibson talk about the film. It'd be really nice to hear him talk about The Road Warrior, and even Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, just to talk about what happened with that film. But still, I would prefer a special edition of The Road Warrior, because I think that's the best Mad Max film. But still, nice to get at least some new interview with Mel Gibson. So I'm glad to have this. So thank you for that. Whoever sent that, thank you very much. Next up, I picked this up, The Final Girls, film I enjoyed. I put it in my top 10 favorites of last year. I thought it was an interesting plot. Think of Last Action Hero, but a slasher film version. I say that because it's fans of a certain slasher film that gets thrust through the movie screen into said slasher film. And there's a bit of heart to it because the lead teenager actress, her mom was the star of the slasher movie, and like years before, her mom had passed away in a car accident, so now she's confronted with it's her mom who has passed away, but it's not really her mom because it's this character, but yet it is her mom. So that was a good heart to it. Went at a good enough pace, had some really interesting ideas. I did a review for this film, still up on my channel. The only problem I have is it's PG-13. There are 2 commentary tracks, one with the writers and one with the cast and crew. I didn't really listen to all of it. I just didn't have time to listen to 2 commentaries and watch the film. But I know they said that if the film was gory and bloody, that it would take away from the heart of the mom and daughter story. They said that the story was innocent, and you could still do it if this was a bloody movie. I mean, look at other comedies. I mean, I guess at the point, it's not just a comedy, it's also this little dramatic heart to it. But I think people would still be able to deal with it. I mean, even Shaun of the Dead has a little bit, I think, of heart to it, and that's an R-rated film. But I still like The Final Girls. I don't buy their reasoning, though. I think their reasoning's kind of bullshit. That's just me. Next up is Crimewave. Picked this up because of, first off, for the Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell collection. Sam Raimi, this is one film he directed that I had not seen and definitely did not own, but now I do. Gave it a watch. Definitely a weird, quirky comedy. It's sort of it's a live-action cartoon, sort of live-action Three Stooges mixed with, I don't know how to describe it. It's definitely a weird flick. And this is the film they did after Evil Dead, and this film bombed, and they had a lot of problems. Definitely interesting info on, you have some interviews, you have an interview with the lead actor, you have an interview with Bruce Campbell, who wanted and thought he was going to play the lead, but then the studios didn't want him, and then you have an interview with Edward R. Pressman, that's a name that rings a bell, who's the executive producer, but he was also cast as an actor by Sam Raimi. And he also did a very fun commentary of Bruce Campbell, moderated by Michael Felsher. Gave a lot of info as to all the problems that happened. Like this guy, Paul L. Smith, said he would do all this stuff, but when he was hired, he didn't do any of it. There's a point where someone was nothing serious to the point of death or serious injury, but there was a person who was getting electrocuted. There was Brian James was doing drugs at the time, and there was a moment where he trashed his hotel room because he had taken like a screwdriver to all the outlets and said there was a ghost in there because he was so high on drugs. A woman, might have been this one, I forget the actress's name. She wanted to do the makeup herself, and when she was done, she looked like a mime. So then they had to sit her down, and without using a mirror, we'll do some touch-ups, we'll pretty much fix it. Dealing with Teamsters, dealing with studios that were getting pissed at them, didn't like what they were doing. Again, definitely an interesting, fun commentary for a quirky, goofy movie. So, I'm glad to have this for the Sam Raimi collection as well, because I have Darkman, I have Evil Dead films. I don't give a shit about the Evil Dead TV show. I do not care to watch that. But I have Darkman, and I have... Why am I missing something? Oh, whatever. But yeah, that's Crimewave. And last but not least, I got the Village of the Damned Blu-ray, which I will not go into detail because the next video you will see will be a review of this Blu-ray. Now the film itself, I'm going to say that for if I ever do a John Carpenter marathon, or I know I'm still doing my journey to the 1980s, which is a slow process because there's a lot tougher and more time heavy than I thought it would be. So it's going to go slow. But anyway, Village of the Damned, which is a film I do enjoy. But I'll talk more about that in the next video. But anyway, just a short little video showing the recent stuff I've gotten. Stay tuned for my review of this Blu-ray. See you in a bit.